And here's the other one.
Thank you.
And so we're going to figure it out together.
Okay.
Oh, it's the same key.
Oh, it's the same key.
Okay.
Okay.
Key, the other one's a regular key we gave.
Okay. Okay. Do I get to go open?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here we go. Woo, I'm home. Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. I love it. Look how big it is. Oh, wow.
For me, I would be homeless now if it wasn't for the child housing program.
They were able to find me and my sister's housing. They've certain resources, clothing, food, like anything that I personally needed, or the girls, and they have just absolutely been extremely humble and gracious, and I am extremely appreciative of it all.
When we first came here, we were in a homeless shelter. Chet offered us a home.
Yay! Oh my gosh, it's so big!
Chet offered us a lot of services, and they just helped me and my family get back on our feet.
Here, I cannot believe this is so awesome. It's so big! Yay!
I'm a veteran of the United States Navy. I moved here from Los Angeles. I needed a place to live. Chat was there for me until I was able to get on my own feet. Now, because they were there for me, I want to give back. And I can think of no better way than to volunteer with Chat.
Almost all the people involved in Chat volunteer a lot of their time, energy, and material to this work, and it's very rewarding. It's great to be a part of this organization.
Did you return the package? Do they open the package and return it?
No. Everyone at Chat is really welcoming, and we really work as a team, and we all have the same purpose of trying to help our community, and it's like going to my family every Saturday. It's pretty cool.
This way we'll have to go in the house.
Okay, and go out the...
Yeah.
Okay.
I have loved working with Chat. I've learned so much from all the volunteers and the residents, and I am just, really excited to be here and to be helping out in such a great organization.
I'm so grateful for Chat. They got me out of a really bad situation, and by the grace of God, they came to me, and I followed, and I'm forever grateful to them, forever.
This is my son Eric, and Chat is one of the first homes where Eric has received permanent to supportive housing. He loves where he lives. I love this organization. They have some amazing volunteers. I'm so proud to live in Chico and have access to Chat.
Chat has kind of helped us out. They've always brought us food in case we ever were running low on it. They've always been there if there was someone I needed to talk to. They're more of a family than, like a friend or a landlord. That's really what Chat is about.
All the ways we could put some lawn furniture back here, and maybe a little table to hang out.
Darn right, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
I just want to say Chat have helped us a lot, and thank you to Chat. Because we was homeless, and now we have a place to stay, nice and warm, and it ain't out there in the cold, sleeping in our truck.
And the neighbor across the street from us, I think her name's Jean, and we get a lot of oranges, and we gave her the oranges, and she made jam.
Oh,
and
what a sweetheart.
Really cool. Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
So in the front yard there's an orange tree, and that tree you can see after the fence is a pomegranate tree. So we might have pomegranates.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Well, Chat's involved in the community. We do so much here. We're up to almost 50 houses that we either master lease or own. We're housing about 160 people. Chat does so much for the community, and it's almost all volunteers. We just started hiring recently, and if you have if you're versatile, if you've got experience, you could bring to Chat. This would be awesome. Come join us and spend a couple hours on a Saturday and just see what we're all about.
Hi, welcome to our orientation video for CHAT, Chico Housing Action Team. We are so happy that you're interested in volunteering for CHAT. CHAT is, well, it started as an all-volunteer organization, and we almost still think of ourselves that way. We're not all volunteer, but many of us, including the core organization of CHAT, are volunteer, and we love and appreciate and respect volunteers and volunteerism so much. And we're happy that you're interested in learning more about CHAT. We would love to tell you some history, first of all, of CHAT, how we got started and sort of who we are, how we see ourselves. And then we will talk about our different programs. Of course, our core is housing, and we have several housing programs. And we're going to tell you about all of our housing programs, and then about also our support, kind of our support system. So these are sort of the sub-programs that help support CHAT to be able to carry out its mission.
Interestingly, we started CHAT 7 years ago this month, so it's been 7 long years. We actually started with the concept of building tiny homes. That didn't happen quickly. We realized it would take some education in this community, changing hearts and minds. So we started Safe Space, which is a program that we lined up churches, and we had people staying in them through the night. We supplied food, bedding, many times showers, entertainment. So we knew that people that were on the street were able to be safe through the night in the wintertime. Again, our goal has always been tiny homes. That still didn't happen, but we started another program, Housing Now, which you'll learn more about later. It's been a very successful program. Then we started a HUSH program, another program for families in crisis. Then we started a CHAMP program with families that were burned out and individuals that were burned out on the ridge with the fire. And then we started a Redwood program where we have students from Chico State and Butte College that were living homeless, and we've housed them. We have amazing stories about what has happened to those students, the success of those students and those programs. And we have some other interesting things that are happening. We had a substantial grant given to us by some people in this community. We think that that's going to turn into some more affordable housing, truly affordable housing in our community. We're really excited about that. And some other programs that may lead to us actually having some tiny homes in this community.
If you just know one thing about CHAT is that we do master leasing. That's how we provide housing. We don't own 100 houses or apartments we can provide to people, but what we can do is go out as a nonprofit, rent or lease a home, and then sublet the individual rooms to people that have been homeless for lack of being able to get into housing. And that way they would just rent a bedroom. And many homeless people can afford to rent a bedroom. They can do that. They have enough income to pay $500 a month or something in that neighborhood to go ahead and rent themselves a bedroom.
So it's really decent here. So and then and this is the rest, which is it's nice because it's hard floor, and I can use my wheelchair, and I just keep it parked right here at nighttime, you know, so that when I go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I have it right there.
So that's master leasing. We lease the house, then we sublet. Sometimes we sublet the entire house, not just one bedroom. Usually we would do that if it's a family, because we don't generally want to mix families and singles in one house.
I mean, 2 ceiling fans we replaced, kitchen faucet, and we're just helping them fix it up. Chat's helped us with some of the furniture. My father-in-law gave us a couch. A friend of mine had a couch which I bought for $20. Had a couch, which is nice. So Chat helps out with furniture, dishes, food, some blankets and bedding, whatever they've got access to get.
We call our housing program Housing Now because we felt like that kind of fits with Chat's theme, you know, Chico Housing Action Team. We put action right in the middle. We want to be the organization that just goes for it, and we do. And the same with our HAT team, Housing Assistance Team, and Housing Now.
we go ahead and rent the places, get people in there, and of course we realized right away that people do need a certain amount of support. If they've been homeless, there are probably a lot of reasons, a lot of issues that they may have that have caused their homelessness in the past and created a lot of challenges for them in their lives. So we help them with case management support, and that's been almost entirely run by volunteers until we got a big grant. And that grant was a state-funded grant called HEAP, and we started a program called Hand Up Supportive Housing. So that was our first program aimed exclusively at families with children. And so that's our HUSH program. And the way that differs from our existing Housing Now program is it's for families with children. It provides rental subsidies so that we help people pay their rent. And then it also provides a paid case manager. So we kind of started raising our level of professionalism and having paid, consistent staff working with all these families. Since then, we have gotten additional grants and we've started additional programs. They're all along this same basic model that we primarily rent houses from a landlord. They rent to Chat. So we're the tenant, and then we're also the landlord because we sublet to the people who have struggled with homelessness. And so our second big grant was for a program for fire survivors, and that's the CHAMP program. That was for people who were displaced in some way by the campfire. So those folks, again, because we had a good substantial grant for that, we were able to hire an ongoing case manager and provide assistance with paying incentives to landlords to get them to rent to our clients. And a lot of people have income, but a landlord will look at a pile of applications and that will never be their first choice. They want somebody that has a good credit history, has a good rental history, has good references. And a lot of our folks don't. So we give them that extra boost by meeting with the landlord, giving the landlord a supplement, a $500 supplement rent payment, setting aside a reserve in case there's any sort of damage done by the residents or anything like that, we will cover it. So we give that backup for our clients. And then more recently, we started a program with Chico State, and that one we call Redwood Housing. So with that program, same thing, we lease a house and then we sublet bedrooms, but this is for Chico State students specifically. And that one, we get funding from Chico State, or actually from the Cal State University system, because this program is statewide at all the Cal State universities. But ours was actually probably the very first one to get launched, and they said we've already put in more people than any of the other, areas around the state, because we kind of took the jump on it. And we started doing it before the money even came in, because that's what we do. And it tends to work. We found that if you just take the lead and go for it, a lot of times if it's a good idea and it's the right thing to do, people will come to you and support what you're doing. We found that a lot. And the Redwood program has worked really well that way. So we have a couple of houses and we're about to get another house, and that's for the Chico State students. So we just keep trying to find ways to house people in our community. Then we have, we're starting Veterans House really soon. Same type of thing. And I've been talking about master leasing, and the vast majority of our places are places that we lease. However, we do own some. We're trying to build up our level of ownership of housing, because if we own houses, we feel that makes us that much more sustainable and secure, and be able to rent at better rates for people, especially once we get the houses paid off. So we do own 4 houses, I think, at this time, and we're continuing to buy more. But beyond that, Chat has a lot of other ideas, and we keep coming up with other ways that we can continue housing people. We're working right now with the county on Everhart Village, which is going to be a tiny house village program for people with mental illness that are behavioral health clients. And that's going to be in a location right near behavioral health services, so these folks will be able to get right to their appointments and keep on their medications. People with mental illness, everybody knows, are one of the groups that struggle the most out on the streets, because they already are vulnerable and they their medicines get stolen, or they lose them, or they stay up all night out of fear. They can't go to sleep, and then they're so tired they miss their appointments. It's just a huge struggle. So we're really excited to see Everhart Village go forward. That's one that will be 15 to 20 or more tiny homes for people that are behavioral health clients. We got lots of other ideas. We're hoping to build an apartment complex, and we're hoping to buy a motel. So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff, but that's kind of the way Chat goes about housing people. And we're just going to keep doing it, and we're going to keep growing. And we have trailers. That's the one thing I can't leave out. We sometimes buy little trailers or mobile homes, move people in there. We just do it every way we possibly can. And the need keeps growing, but we we just keep doing more as best we can. So thanks.
We kind of want to go through some of our programs where we're needing volunteers. As Leslie said, we have over 50 houses that we put formerly homeless people into, and it takes quite an army of people. We take donations. We have a warehouse where we take just about any kind of furniture that people will donate. We take beds and tables and chairs, and we have quite a large warehouse, and it's continually moving. As you can imagine, moving people into a 4-bedroom house, what it takes to get the furniture done and in. So that's one of the areas where we could use not only donations, but help in the warehouse. We repair furniture, we have a trailer and a truck, and we supply washers and dryers, refrigerators, just anything to make a house a home, basically. We also have a food program. We partner with Trader Joe's, and it used to be every Saturday, but we just didn't have the volunteers to do it every Saturday. And they supply a tremendous amount of fresh food. And we go pick it up, bring it to what we call the barn, separate it to all the different houses, depending if it's a family or a single person. And then we have volunteers deliver the food. This is a really big program. And there's also the Blue Bag program, which happens once every 2 months. And people donate non-perishable food, put in a bag, have it delivered by volunteers to St. John's Church, and then it's distributed among the various nonprofits here in Chico, whether it's the food bank through Chico State or Butte College or 6th Street Youth Center or Catalyst or Chat. And we get on average about 150 bags once every 2 months. It's just incredible to be able to help people. If they're making $950 a month on Social Security and they're paying $400 or $500 in rent, that doesn't really leave much. So helping with food is really a big issue. The other thing is maintenance. I used to be a contractor, so that was sort of an easy thing for me to get involved with Chat. And maintenance means we sort of promise the landlord that we'll do almost all the minor work there is. We fix steps, we change locks, we fix doors, windows that don't work, just a variety of simple things that just need to get fixed. We have a maintenance crew. We're up to 2 people now that we've hired, and along with Bob Troush and myself. That's sort of our maintenance team. We meet every morning. We decide which way we're going. You kind of never know whether it's a washing machine that's not working or a septic that needs help. We'll do just about everything in maintenance. And that's sort of those 3 programs that we're needing volunteers with. And there's more.
Chat has so many different projects, and as we grow, we need even more supportive services. So, of course, the greatest need we have for volunteers is always working right directly with our residents, one-on-one. And that's one of the things we seek assistance for. And that case management includes things like life skills training. It can be parenting skills. It can be helping people just get paperwork done. And it can also have a component of conflict resolution, because a lot of our houses, we do have many people sharing a household together, and we probably all have had the experience of having roommates. It's challenging under any circumstances. There are just always issues that come up. So we can use volunteers there, but there are so many other places we can use volunteers. You know, we have our social media needs. We just have basically one person doing our social media, our website, And we need help in that area. That's one. We can always use help with fundraising as well. I have a vision that we will have a planned giving coordinator to help encourage people to out in the community that might, if they're going to pass away and they don't, for example, have children to leave their home to, maybe they would like to leave a home to chat, and we would use it as part of our programs in order to provide housing from now on into the distant future, hopefully. So we need people to help with planned giving and with all other aspects of fundraising, because that's how we function. All of our residents, almost every single one does pay rent. And that's part of our vision and our model and our way of being in the housing community is people pay rent. But it really isn't enough for everything that we need to provide, our insurance and our staffing and our office and all that. So we do need fundraising all the time. And then we also need office assistance if someone would like to get involved in that. That's something that you could do for chat. If you'd like to come and do filing or sit as a receptionist in our office a certain number of hours, help people that would be walking in to fill out forms that they need to turn in, because there's, an exceptional amount of paperwork that needs to be done for everything, particularly anybody that's applying for any sort of public benefits or anything like that. And we do need a secretary for our board. Sometimes we need new board members. And then I thought I had something else. Oh, training. We could really use someone that likes to do trainings. We need, like every organization, we need to be having, harassment training and sensitivity awareness training about a lot of different issues, case management training. So we could use a lot of volunteers in all of these areas. Our administrative team is basically the sort of component of chat that handles our things like our finances, our taxes, finance and administration kind of work hand in hand. But admin is sort of a core function of keeping things going. That's a part of chat. And all these things we're talking about in chat primarily function by way of teams and committees. And I guess it's part of our culture, and the way we started was that we were a bunch of people that got together and said, how can we figure out what we can do about homelessness? And since we started as a team and we named ourselves Chico Housing Action Team, we've never had a very hierarchical structure. We really do want to hear everybody's ideas and incorporate everybody's ideas, and people don't tend to put themselves above somebody else. It's a really different culture, I think you would find, if you're working with chat, where we want people's input and we want to figure stuff out as a team, because we don't have a lot of experts. We have a lot of people that get together and go, what can we figure out about this? So if you like that kind of a team approach and you like to work with other people, chat might be a great place for you. And we for sure have some place for everybody to plug into chat and to help us handle our constantly growing organization. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Bob Van Fleet. I've been a volunteer with chat for about 2 years. And my part of the orientation is to talk about our interaction with the residents that chat provides, not only housing, but also supportive services too. And there are some really important things to remember. One thing is that anybody who's going to be working directly with residents, and that's somebody who's assigned to a house, but it can also be somebody working in maintenance, in the food program, anywhere, you're going to have interactions with residents. And that's good, because that's really what we do. So it's important to know that all of the residents have undergone background screenings. Anybody with a history of violent behavior, sexual harassment, or any kind of behavior that could be dangerous to a volunteer or fellow residents have been screened out. The people we work with come from a variety of circumstances. The one thing that they all have in common, they've experienced some degree of trauma, some multiple times, some over long periods of time. And they've ended up without housing because of the fire, because of family disintegration, addictions, injury or disabilities, untreated mental illness, loss of employment or income. So people end up with chat for a variety of reasons. So it's important to understand that. So as we interact with people who have been traumatized, it's really important to understand that what we need to do is establish their trust in us. And that may take time. And in that process, listening is usually more important than talking. So just getting to know people in a very kind of relaxed, calm manner, and recognizing that we're kind of intruding in their living situation, and we need to recognize that and be respectful of that. The most important thing to remember, like people with disabilities, people who are homeless or unhoused, we have a lot of different stereotypes about them. One of the terms we hear is transients. Well, they aren't transients. They're people who live here. And they're different from us in some ways, but the most important thing to remember, I think, is that we have more in common than we have difference. So, I like to say, they are us. So I think that's an important key. It's a wide variety of people, and some will be different from us in many ways. Others, again, recognize our similarities. So some of the basic principles about our interactions are confidentiality. As you interact with residents, you're going to hear some very private, personal information that cannot be shared with anyone outside of chat. If we need to do that, to refer to another agency, it can only be done with a signed release of information that the resident is aware that they're signing and what it's for. Another thing to be careful about, if you're with a fellow volunteer and you're at a coffee shop downtown and you're talking about your experience with chat, recognize that other people around you may hear what you're talking about. So if you mention a name or circumstances or an address, you're divulging confidential information. So be very careful about that. And the other thing, again, and this is very simple, but sometimes we need to be reminded of it, that we need to treat each other and the residents we work with dignity and respect. We're not their boss. We're not there to answer all the questions. Sometimes the smartest answer to a question is, I don't know, but I'll find out for you. So it's just really establishing friendly relationships with people, but we are in kind of a position of authority and having to, talk with people about rules and that sort of thing. But basically it's a trusting friendship relation. Our job is to enhance residents' capacities and opportunities to change, to address their own needs, and regain control of their lives. And finally, our work with residents can only be effective after we've earned their trust. That can take some time. So be patient and understanding about that. And we work as a team. That's really important. The other speakers, I think, have emphasized that. We refer to chat sometimes as a family, and that includes staff, residents, board members, community supporters, and above all, our residents. We're a family. We're all equal, even though we're different and come from different circumstances. We're all on an equal footing when it comes to being a part of the chat family. So we welcome you to that family, and we look forward to working with you.
Hi, I'm Luann Manns, and I'm quite excited to get involved with chat and begin volunteering. I do have a few questions before I start. Will I have a mentor or someone I can shadow as I'm learning more about my volunteer position?
I think that all people in our program, we feel if you're going to become a part of chat, that you will have a supervisor depending on which in an office job, on the street level, when you're going into houses, you'd have a mentor, someone who would take you around and show you the ropes and get you accustomed to meeting people, how to approach people. You would also enter on a much lower level, because we have kind of coded all the homes that we have as to the degree of difficulty and problems that you would have in the home, or the amount of need that those particular houses have. So you would have a mentor that would take you around for a period of time to help you learn the houses, the people in the houses, and the needs of the house, and ultimately, hopefully, would be able to take over on your own house in a period of time.
Hi, my name's Claire Fong, and I'm curious if there is a minimum time requirement for volunteer hours.
We know in chat that a lot of people, as they're coming in, probably think about, gosh, is this going to overwhelm my life? Yes, it can. It can do that. However, obviously, people have to be able to set their own limits as to what they're doing. So there isn't any particular time. It can be an hour a week. We have some people who literally spend an hour a week, or the people on Saturday who do the food program. It's about 2.5 hours a week. They've committed a Saturday, every Saturday, sometimes every other Saturday, to deliver food to people. It's an amazing, wonderful program that we've talked about earlier. So it's up to the individual to set their own limits. And actually, we appreciate that. I mean, we look at like the warehouse or the Housing Now program or the maintenance program. We have a lot of needs, so it's better for us to understand this person is available to us for X number of hours, and we can plug them in. It actually helps us be more efficient. So you're setting a limit on us, helps us get better at what we're doing as far as running chat.
It is, I would say it is really important, though, for chat that we have, that our volunteers are reliable. Even if you're only working 2 hours a week or an hour a week, that if this is your time, Wednesday at 1 o'clock, that we know you're going to be there. That is crucial to have that kind of consistency and reliability. Obviously, you can, have a vacation once in a while or something like that, but we would ask that you try to be sure that the time that you do commit to chat, that it's something that you take seriously, and that you really, make sure you're consistent and responsible with that, so that we can rely.
And if you can't show up, that you let us know that you're not going to be able to show up, so that we don't disappoint someone that has an expectation that you're going to be doing something in the office or visiting a house. That's really important. In the Housing Now program, people really rely on us to be there. You would think that us going into a house every week and interrupting people's lives and sitting there and talking to them would be a disservice to them, or they wouldn't like it. People expect that. They really enjoy us being there. They want us to be there. They understand our concern for them. And so it's really important that if you make a commitment, keep to that commitment. But if there's something happens that you can't make it, then please let us know.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Hi. My name is Eric Mash, and I have a couple of questions. So I'm not sure if I would be a good fit for chat. Where would I actually fit in, you think?
You are a good fit for chat. There's a role for everybody, because we know by the fact that you're here watching this and that you have taken an interest in chat, that you want to help people and you understand the real difficulties and struggles of homelessness and the difficulties with, for the community as a whole. This is a community illness almost. It's a real weakness in our community. And then the difficulties and challenges for the people just really suffering in homelessness. So anybody that wants to help, I think we can say we will definitely have a place for you to fit in. Not everybody wants to go in the houses and work hands-on, face-to-face with people. Other people would much rather do filing or deliver furniture. But I think I'm pretty safe to say that there's something for everybody.
And I think that, like you said, the people who come to these meetings obviously have an interest in being caring and helping people. And with chat, there are so many different opportunities. So if you find one that is not right for you, there's so many different opportunities. Everyone in their life will be doing something and have skill at something that chat is doing. So all you have to do is find a skill area and a skill set that would work for you and also works for chat. We always know that there's something for everyone. because we're just like a household. We do all the things that a household has to do. We have the finances. We have to keep track of our bills. We have to make sure that there's money in the bank account. We have to, all the things that a person does, we have to resolve conflicts that are, you know, when you're in a family situation. So all of those things are in your life as already. So the thing is finding what works for you and what you enjoy doing.
If I volunteer for one assignment, can I, if I'm not a good fit for it, will I be able to get a different assignment?
Within the context of chat, we're solution-oriented, solution-based. We find a problem, we look for the solution to that. So if you're coming into chat to work, we look at it the same way. We're going to look for the right place for you. We're going to look for a solution, for a place that you fit into chat and chat fits into you. And we'll work really hard to make that happen. So come join chat and we'll find a spot for you that you can enjoy and make chat stronger.
What kind of training would I get before, you know, I kind of go on the front lines in one of the houses?
You will certainly get some training when you come in to chat to work. It depends, again, on what you would be doing. Maybe you would be doing some data entry. Maybe you'll be acting as a greeter in the office. Whatever it is, you'll have someone working closely with you to make sure that you're just like in any other job. Even though you're a volunteer, you're doing a job. So you would be assigned somebody. No one's going to say, here's your duties for the day, go do it. You'll definitely be working with someone.
And chat, prior to the pandemic, we were trying to have monthly trainings because we know how important it is to have trainings. So we were trying to cover every area in chat with trainings, bringing people in, and we're going to continue to do that. I have to admit, with COVID-19, it's been very difficult to do that. It's very hard to do those on Zoom, but we have had some, and we're going to continue to have more of those because we all need training. Anyone coming into chat, obviously, would appreciate as much training as possible, and we'll be continuing to do that.
I'm curious where the chat houses are.
Well, until one becomes a volunteer and goes through the whole process, we don't really tell people where our chat houses are. So if someone is interested in becoming a volunteer and goes through the whole process and gets mentored, and then we assign houses to that individual, then they will learn where those chat houses are. But we really respect the confidentiality of the people who have been housed. They are now tenants in a house, and it's their privacy that we have to respect. So we won't tell people where those houses are until, as I say, the whole process has been completed.
While I am mentoring at one of the houses, if one of the residents asks me for money or a ride or something that is maybe a little questionable, how would I respond to that?
Yeah, sometimes this question comes up about loaning people money in the houses, or some of our residents or some of prospective clients. That's not something you should do. That's something to definitely avoid and say no to, because it, well, for obvious reasons, you might not get paid back, and it will just continue to, the requests may continue to multiply from that person and other people in the house, and loaning money creates, you know, ill feelings in the future. But we really want to be helping people learn how to take care of their own needs and find ways to have a steady source of income and manage their money properly. That's our role, not to be giving or loaning people money. And although I was just going to say, you know, small incidental gifts like a birthday card or something, of course, that's fine. But other than that, no.
That is something else that volunteers do not do. We do not give people rides. What we do is teach them how to get rides, because there's many opportunities in the community to help people get rides to wherever they need to go. So our job is to help educate them as to how to become more independent.
So once I have watched the video, looked up on the website, and looked up different ways I can volunteer with chat, what are the next steps? What do I do now?
So the first step you've probably already taken, which is to fill out a form showing your interest online. And then the next step is this orientation. And after that, what we would want you to do is follow up with us, let us know your interest, which that would probably happen at the close of the orientation time. And then we'd have you go to the office and talk to the housing coordinator. That's Mark, and he has a paperwork there that you would fill out. So that would entail a form that it's a disclosure that allows us to do a background check on you, because we do a background check for everybody that's going to be working in any of the houses or working with any of our residents. They are a vulnerable population, and we would like to be sure that we do our responsibilities of investigating, at least, to some extent, the people that would be working with them, for their safety and for yours. So we would like you to do the paperwork for that background check if you're willing to do that, which we do require of our volunteers. And then we also would like if you drive, your driver's license information. And that's because we would tell our chat insurance carrier, we'd like to know everybody that could be driving on any sort of an errand for chat. We want to know that. The insurance company has their name. If something should happen, chat is covered. And there's also other paperwork we'd like you to fill out. For example, we might ask you to allow us to use any photographs that might be taken during the course of your activities with chat. But more importantly, we would have you sign a statement saying you do understand the importance of confidentiality in working with this population, that you're committing to respect confidentiality of all of our residents, clients, prospective clients, anybody that you would be working with as a chat volunteer. So once you go to the office and get all that paperwork done, then you would be referred back to the volunteer coordinator to set you up with whatever team or mentor you'll be working with.
On behalf of Chat, Chico Housing Action Team, we thank you.
I want to thank you so much for coming. Chat relies on its volunteers, as you've heard throughout this program. Without the volunteers, we really don't exist. Without the support of the community on so many levels, Chat doesn't exist. We work together. We actually play together. We're like a family. Chat has become a family, and I'm hoping that with the questions you've asked have helped you feel closer to Chat, understand better how Chat works and why it works. And we hope that you're going to be joining us in making Chat stronger, bigger, and better, and serve this community and serve the people that are unhoused in this community that have suffered so much because of so many things happening in their life, from the pandemic, from the fires, from trauma in their homes and life. So we want you to feel a part of what we've created and be part of the whole organization and feel that you can make a difference in the lives of the people, because ultimately it makes a difference in your life. And I'm hoping that people can feel that after this training and be able to sense the deep commitment and passion and compassion that is Chat as an organization. And again, thank you all for spending your Saturday here with Chat.
Feel the love, feel that love deep in your heart. Oh yeah, just feel the love, just feel the love that's deep in your heart. So thank you, oh thank you for being that highest ideal. You make the world a better place for you and me. Yeah. So thank you, for being that highest ideal. You make the world a better place for you for me. Thank you. On behalf of Chad and all the people that are working together to make the world a better place, we thank you.